It's hard to believe that Sailor Moon's stars ended back in 1997, isn't it?
Chibi.
The last new manga was my little sister's manga back in 1999.
Chibi.
In Japan, Sailor Moon has been re-released on HD DVDs. Albania, Israel, and a bunch of other countries are getting Sailor Moon back as well.
Oh.
There's a huge Sailor Moon revival going on in Italy right now. Toys, dolls, action figures, the manga, even the anime. It's all coming back, and it's all coming back uncensored.
Chibi.
And yet and still, there is no revival for Sailor Moon for any English-speaking country, despite the huge demand.
What?
At least Funimation has shown interest in Sailor Moon, but nobody knows how it should be marketed to English-speaking audiences. You have to understand, America is not like Italy. In Italy, you can show Sailor Moon uncensored. The Italians seem just fine with all the death and sexual innuendo being shown to their kids.
Chibi.
But in America, they don't want Sailor Moon at all, not unless it's been babyfied and censored. They want to censor my mom's transformation so that children don't want to violently rape cats in the streets.
What?
They don't want to show scenes like Sailor Mars burning up a doom and gloom girl because they're afraid that children will imitate what Sailor Mars does and set fire to their nasty old teachers at school.
What?
Despite the toy line, my mom's show was originally animated for guys. That's why there's so much nudity and violence. But in America, they don't want to air something like my mom's show on Adult Swim, not unless it was made by an American team. See, they think something like Squidbillies is okay. It's okay to show redneck octopi that rape each other, but if you show a Japanese schoolgirl with a Japanese name and she's transforming and fighting bad guys, it's detrimental to people's health. It needs to be American or it won't play uncensored.
Chibi.
The next best channel, I guess, would be Nicktoons, but even they don't want uncensored Japanese programs. See, it's okay if SpongeBob SquarePants fingers himself and then in the next scene takes a large pair of scissors and cuts Squidward in half and bleeds all over the place. But if Goku even mentions death, they have to censor it. The adult channels don't want my mom's show because they think it's too kiddie. They were fooled like a lot of people were because there's a toy line. So a lot of people think that toy line means instant children's program. They ignore things like South Park and Family Guy, who also have toy lines but are not meant for little itty-bitty kids like you.
Oh.
So since people can't really think for themselves and they can't decide if this belongs on an adult or a kid's block, and nobody is smart enough to make a tween or a teen block of anime, it looks like my mom's show won't be coming back to the United States. I guess it's okay though. I mean, after all, Nicktoons still airs a lot of great programming, like Avatar, which shows a 12-year-old little boy who at the end of the series snogs a 12-year-old little girl proper. There's also things like Fairly Odd Parents, which in one episode has a pregnant male fairy. And, you know, they still have SpongeBob SquarePants, who's constantly walking around talking about his bum and showing his underwear to children in the ads. And Cartoon Network seems to be doing okay. They're taking away a lot of cartoons to air live-action movies, like The Mummy Returns, which has diddly shit to do with children or cartoons. They're also airing Speed Racer, which has the word shit in it, and they're going to be airing a lot of Batman movies, which have a lot of sexual innuendo. So I guess that's better for children than silly old Sailor Moon, huh? And for your age group, Nick Jr. is playing Yo Gabba Gabba, a series about a lot of naked monsters who talk about their bodies. I suppose that's a lot better for your mental health than Sailor Moon.
Chibi.
And we still have the 4Kids block. They still play Japanese programming. I mean, just last week they aired Sonic X, a wholesome family anime, all about a little human boy named Chris who has a huge crush on his live-in roommate, 15-year-old Sonic the Blue Hedgehog. It's okay, Chibi Chibi-chan. Most networks don't want girl programming anyway. It gives us ideas and keeps us away from the kitchen. That's just not right. But at least we have channels like Hub, which right now is playing Strawberry Shortcake, a little CGI about a tiny little anorexic girl who eats nothing but berries and water, and is probably so skinny that she'll never ever procreate, but at least she won't bother the obesity epidemic. And hey, we've got My Little Pony, about a bunch of little anorexic ponies who drink and fart all day. That's wholesome for kids your age. And hey, we still have lots of fabulous girl toys, like Zuzu Pets, tiny little rodents that spin around and do nothing all day. And Barbie, who wears a lot of makeup and dresses like a Las Vegas showgirl. And Bratz, who teaches that you don't need a real job. That's silly. Just dress up and use your body to get money. We've got other little toys too, like Polly Pocket, who doesn't have a real job, mooches off her mommy and daddy, and goes shopping all day. These are great things for you to play with, Chibi Chibi-chan. Who needs a show about fighting for love and justice when we can have the Bratz Partymobile with detachable stripper pole, or the Barbie Partymobile with detachable minibar? Why, you can grow up to be anything, as long as you dress like a whore, Chibi Chibi-chan. Just yesterday, I bought Kurosagi-chan her first Live doll, so she can learn to be anorexic and skinny. That way she won't piss off the obesity epidemic Nazis. And hey, she won't have enough body fat to finish puberty and she'll never have children, but at least she'll be skinny, and that's the American way. And today, I'm going to buy her a Moxie doll. That way, she can learn a hobby just like Moxie girls do. Moxie girls believe in things like playing music and scrapbooking. I think that would be a useful tool so that just like a Chinese courtesan, my little sister can play the ukulele while her man does his business. I think that's a great thing, don't you? And Kurosagi-chan is excited because this year Nicktoons is picking up Winx Club, a show about little anorexic fairy people who show their tatas to the enemy. My little sister wants to grow up right, so she wants to watch Winx. So you see, Chibi Chibi-chan, there's no need for Sailormoon to come back to the U.S. Not at all. I mean, shows like my mom's, where girls have ambition and dreams and can fight and think for themselves and don't wear so much makeup, that's so 1990s. It's just not the American way. So, of course, we won't be seeing Sailormoon back at all. But hey, we've got Barbie and Winx and Bratz, and that's wholesome slut fun for little girls. So you don't have anything to worry about, Chibi Chibi-chan. Not at all. And while you're playing with things like Baby Alive and Squinkies, which teach you to shut up, mind your own business, and stay your stupid ass in the kitchen, the big adult men can watch things like Squidbillies and Aqua Teen Hunger Force, which aren't actually real programs, just mindless drivel. But hey, it's not Japanese. That makes it A-OK. So keep on watching shows about octopi that rape octopi. We don't need Sailormoon in this country, do we, Chibi Chibi-chan?
Holy fucking shit!